Diving right in and getting started. So, what is separation anxiety? Separation anxiety is a psychological and behavioral condition that your dog really forms when they view you as an object or resource. So, this is a condition where they form an anxious attachment to you and you become like a comfort blanket to them in the world. And this happens for several reasons. Being separated as a pack is really non-natural. In the wild, dogs aren't really separated from their pack and from their pack leaders. When we train our dogs as humans, when we train domestic dogs to be confined in their crate and then to be separated from us, we actually do it very differently than wild dogs would train their puppies or teach their puppies to be away from them. So we're not usually getting it right from the very beginning with our dogs. Traditional rewards-based dog training models really focus on making a dog choose its crate. But that doesn't make a dog choose to be separated from its pack. In the wild, a couple of things would occur very differently. The puppies would be forced by their mother dog to stay in their den, and mother dogs don't use treats or worry about making it an overly positive experience to get that point across. When a mother dog puts her puppies somewhere, the expectation is that they stay there. And she will make them stay there by continuing to bring them back to that space using pressure and force, by dragging them by their scruff, by using her body pressure, by getting vocal and barking or growling at them, or all of the above until the pups like really back down and learn to stay put in their den until she comes to get them to like take them out. And so the way that traditional dog training differs from how dogs naturally train each other is just very different. And you probably also made this other error when your dog was fussing in their crate and they like really wouldn't settle down and it became like a negotiation or a battle. You maybe gave up. You maybe said, you know what? I want to see if my dog would do better outside of their crate. And so we put the crate away, or we started letting our dogs spend time outside of the crate when they were being left alone. And then the problem just kind of snowballed and got worse and worse because the issue isn't the crate. The issue is the dog's relationship with you as an object, right? As a resource. It's this anxious attachment where they never learned to respect you as a parental figure that they believe, right? When I say you should stay in your crate, that they believe that they should stay there. So when you start accommodating your dog, they learn that they can opt out of your expectations and that you're going to lower your standards as long as they just push hard enough, which puts you in this situation where you can't crate your dog or leave them alone because they know that all they have to do to get out is to fuss, bark, whine, dig, bite at the door, or try to escape, and they're going to get what they want to be out of the crate, to be closer to you, to avoid missing out on anything, or like FOMO. And the issue with this is that it's a power and control imbalance in your pack, which creates the anxiety issue to begin with. So, dogs thinking that they have control of other animals that are literally above them on the food chain is really dysregulating to the canine nervous system because dogs are primal animals. They have a primal view of the world around them. When they're looking at another animal, a squirrel, a chipmunk, a deer, a coyote, a wolf, another dog, they are very much sizing up the power potential of that animal to understand to what degree that animal is higher or lower than them on the food chain. Is this animal more dominant or more submissive? Is this an animal that I can control or an animal that I can't control? And so dogs are submissive by nature. It's in their domesticated genetic makeup to be deferent to humans. So when we see them controlling outcomes in the home and controlling the movement and choices of humans, we know that there is a hierarchy issue. We know that there is a power and control issue because they are acting as though they think they are in control. So there is a clear-cut dominance issue. Your dog views your commands and your instructions and your guidance and your choices as optional. And your dog believes that they're in control of your pack, including you, which is a really bad thing and very conflicting to their core psychology as a pack animal. So here's how we fix separation anxiety in dogs You need to teach your dog that they, one, do not control you, your choices, or where they hang out in your home. You give them a destination at all times, and it's their job to stay in that destination. Two, they must be submissive to your choices. Protesting or boycotting is going to feel uncomfortable. There is going to be a consequence for trying to control the situation, change your mind, or assert their will over in a situation. Three, the crate is their safe Zen den. That doesn't mean it's going to be something that we introduce to make it overwhelmingly positive, but this means it's the only space in your home which they can always trust. They will be safe from pressure in and they will feel no stress in. When they're in their crate, they will be left alone. They will be allowed to relax, decompress, and they will overall not feel any pressure. Then four, you will let them know when it's time to do things. You're going to let them know when it's time to walk, potty, eat, play, or anything else. For all intents and purposes, it's your dog's job to relax in the crate and wait for you to provide for them. That's how this works. And it really takes a week or two to hammer through the full process, but it really only takes 1 to 3 days to get to a place where you can start to build your duration and fully leave your house mindfully, of course. So here's when and how to start this protocol. Keep in mind that if you dropped your dog off to me for a board and train, I would crank through this in probably half the time, completing days 1 through 4 on day 1, which you are more than encouraged to do also. If your dog is already e-collar trained, this will likely be even easier for you to blast through, but I recommend that you sit down and watch all training videos at one time and then integrate. Don't go one video at a time or it might not work. Like I said, in an ideal application of this protocol, you would be doing days 1 through 4 on day 1, the same way that I do it in my in-home board and train program. That said, for this protocol to work, you're going to need to build a new daily routine for your dog. So from this point forward, they need to be crated anytime that you are not actively walking them or giving them a potty break so that they can start to pattern the crate as their new home base or that destination. Your dog also needs to be crated overnight, ideally away or outside of the bedroom. The crate really should be in its own space away from you during the day so that the only time your dog has access to you is when you are going to take them out of the crate to fulfill their needs. Lastly, some new house rules to follow during training. No access to the couches or beds. There's no more furniture permission. Your dog is not allowed on your furniture anymore. Dogs use elevation to establish control of other animals or competition and resources or things they want. So we really want to eliminate the opportunity for them to feel like they have control over us or over the space that we are sharing with them, the couch, right? They also may not have access to their place cots. So if you have a place cot, if your dog is place trained, you can go ahead and put your place cot away for the period of this training. They must be crated or on a leash with you at all times. So unless you're walking, training, playing, etc., there is no unsupervised, unleashed time until this problem is fully under control. If you're not actively engaging with your dog, put them in their crate. You're going to feed your dog in their crate to help them learn that all of their basic needs are met from that space so they have even more of a reason to desire being there. They're going to need to wear their e-collars 100% of the time during this protocol, including in the crate, so that you can give feedback remotely. If your dog is struggling overnight with crating, they're going to need to wear an e-collar overnight. So you're going to need to keep it charged, and you might even want to consider buying a second e-collar that you can swap them out, keep one on the charger and one on the dog at all times until this problem is well behind you. No more free attention, affection, or activity. The only way that your dog gets attention from you, affection from you, or can engage with you, leave the crate, for example, is by waiting patiently and calmly for you to go and get them out of the crate. Okay, you have to invite them out. They don't get to demand activity or attention. They earn resources by calmly following instructions and giving you authentic eye contact which means their eyeballs find your eyeballs, right? They gaze deeply and meaningfully into your eyes, right? Waiting for instruction. Balanced pack leaders exist on a spectrum of soft and sweet to neutral and aloof to cold and hard. You want to start moving towards the middle of the spectrum to the hard side of the spectrum for now until your dog really believes that you can control them, the environment, their choices, etc. And you're going to do it simply by you're not going to yell at them, you're not going to get loud, you're not going to get big. You're just going to quietly, silently implement these boundaries. I do not engage with you on your terms. I only engage with you on mine. You do not get to spend time with me just because you want to be near me. I will spend time with you when I want to spend time with you, and you're going to hang out in the crate and relax there until I say so, etc. You really want your dog to start to believe you, so you need to start acting more believable. No more sitting on your feet or crowding your personal space, leaning on you, hiding behind you, snuggling up to you, claiming your space, basically. You want to start to claim your own space. You're going to start maintaining a 1 foot, 12-inch perimeter around your body using the sound space touch technique, which you'll see a video for in this protocol. But like I said earlier, I recommend that you sit down and watch all the training videos for each day at one time that day, and then you integrate rather than watching one video at a time and then trying to integrate. So if one day has 4 videos or 4 training lessons, go through all the training lessons first and then go work with your dog. If you go one video at a time and try and integrate, you're going to get lost in it and it might not work. Um, as you're making progress too, don't forget to let me know how it's going and send me updates on Instagram. But definitely take your time to go through all of the materials, and I look forward to hearing how it's going.